Welcome to Student Stories. My name is Carmen Ramos Chandler, and joining me today is Shanelle Rose, who is graduating as part of the class of 2026 with her bachelor's degree in Africana Studies with an emphasis in social sciences. Congratulations!
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I am very curious about your journey to CSUN. How did it start? Where did you grow up, and then how did you end up here?
Oh boy. Well, I grew up in Palmdale, Quartz Hill, Lancaster, that whole Antelope Valley area, originally from there. And then I have a lot of family who live in Oklahoma because my mother's from there.
Okay.
So when I first graduated high school in 2008,
Baby.
I went to Oklahoma State University. While I was there, I got 2 associate degrees, one in teaching and another in high voltage electricity.
In what?
High voltage electricity. So for the last almost 2 decades now, I've been a lineman. So I've worked on power lines and built power line structures from transmission towers to distribution, like the wooden poles, things. Let me back up a little bit. I graduated from OSU and I was going to be a teacher. And then I saw people in this high voltage program and what they did looked really cool and fun and different. And so I asked one of the guys, hey, how do I get into this? This actually looks cool. And it's funny, they laughed at me and said, you can't do this because you're a girl and you're a girly girl. Like, this is for men and you're not, you wouldn't make it. So I became the first one to do it. And I graduated there with that high voltage degree and then came back to California and started working again. And then eventually got hired on with the City of LA Department of Water and Power. So I was working there. And then in around 2018, I decided I wanted to change again. So I I transferred to the City of Los Angeles's traffic signal systems. So since 2018, that's what I've been doing as an electrician. I work on all the red, yellow, green traffic lights. So I'm the one that goes up there and fixes it when they flash red and things. Interestingly enough, I realized about 2 years ago that all this work I'm doing wasn't really my passion. And I thought, I think I'm really only doing this because some guy laughed and told me I couldn't. And I really want to do something that feeds my spirit and makes me feel like I'm more in line with my purpose on this planet. And so I decided to go back to school, change my career, and become an attorney. So step 1, I had to get a bachelor's degree. And I thought, I have a lot of friends that went to CSUN back in '08, and they're all doing very well. My best friend is an attorney, and she used to come right here at CSUN back then. And I thought, I should try that school out. And I was nervous I wouldn't get in because it'd been such a long stretch from a collegiate background to really just working with my hands and tools. And I was so excited when I got the letter that I've been accepted. And I realized then and there that, oh my goodness, I've always wanted to do this. I don't know why I took so long to change that path. So I came here to CSUN. I started as a psychology major. And my first semester, I ended up taking a few Africana Studies courses. The professors in those courses led me to completely change my major because I found this study to be absolutely fascinating. One is Dr. Glocky and another is Dr. Selassie. And both of them, in their classes, just the information we were reading, the history of Black people that goes way before the Atlantic slave trade, it was so fascinating to see all the wonders of people that, originated the earth and how it all came to be. So I decided to change my major, and I knew that having a major in this to then go on to law school will only better help me, one, help my community, but have a deeper understanding of what these systems look like in our world and how we can navigate them.
I'm going to take it back. You became a line person.
Sure, I just say lineman. It's fine. I know I'm...
Because they told you were too pretty and it wasn't for girls?
Thank you. They didn't say I was pretty. But they did say that I was a girl and a girly girl, and that, yeah, it wasn't for girls. This was only for men. I'd never been told something like that before. That was surprising. You know, I grew up in Courts Hill, Palmdale, and I guess I was blessed to have a great mixture of friends of different ethnicities, races, backgrounds, even countries. And, you know, it was a nice community. And going to Oklahoma and hearing a bunch of guys tell me the only reason I couldn't do something was because of my gender, I couldn't understand how that's a qualifier. So I didn't like that, and I wanted to prove them wrong, but I also thought it looked really cool, and I thought, well, try it out then. Don't let some, you know.
Well, you did it for 20 years. It must have been cool.
It was. It paid very well, and I got to do a lot of amazing things.
Like what? I'm really curious. I'm sorry, but I don't ever get to sit down with a lineman, and so I'm like dying to know.
Yeah. One of my first memories of, wow, is this the real world? As I was working on these transmission towers, and we were doing helicopter and crane sets, and so you literally climb up the tower, and you harness yourself around and you wait for this helicopter that's holding another, 1,000 pounds of this structure to come and land. And you have you have this pin that you put into like the bolt holes, and you have to try and line it up perfectly as they're coming down.
Wait a minute, as this is coming down.
As it's coming down, you have your tool, you have your, your hydraulic drill, and you are ready, your impact gun really, and you're ready to secure these bolts in. You don't want to be the last one because you're going to fight it and it's going to be darn near impossible. But I remember thinking, this is amazing. I've never seen a helicopter this close before, and now I feel like I'm about to get whipped off of this giant tower because the wind is swaying and there's a chopper. And I thought, this is my life. This is pretty cool. The next time I was installing what we call spacers on transmission lines, and the way they did that is they were nice enough to let me ride up in a crane to the top, and it was about 350 feet was the bottom row. And I got in this tiny little buggy with my spacers, and I literally rode down the transmission lines, putting these in. And I thought, this is insane. And this is so cool.
You were a woman, though, in a man's field. How did you navigate that?
Well, it's funny. I think I navigated it the way every woman on earth has to navigate, because I haven't heard of a place where patriarchal ideals aren't kind of leading the minds of everyone.
Yeah.
So in a place where it really is kind of considered only for men, definitely had a lot of challenges. Was surprised to see people that would just come right up to you and tell you they don't want you here because you're Black and because you're a woman. And I thought, I've heard that before, but this is why. You just said I have a great attitude and a good work ethic. Who cares about the other thing? I'm not doing anything to anyone. So that could be really challenging at times and isolating.
Okay, you went from psychology to Africana studies.
Yes.
What were the things you learned? Because I can see, given the human dynamic you dealt with, I mean, one doesn't think about it when you think about linemen, but there's a lot of human dynamic in that.
Yes.
Not just the idiots you work with. And the geniuses you work with,
Yes.
but also customers who don't always appreciate the hard work.
Yeah.
So I get the psychology. But now you've moved to Africana studies. Was it more personal, or did you see yourself, this is an amazing field of knowledge that I know is going to take me into my ultimate goal of being a lawyer?
I'd have to say it was both.
Okay.
Definitely both. On the personal side, I am Black, and learning history, such as this Malian king from about 3000 BCE, traveled to the Americas. I never knew that. And that he had people come back, and a few ships didn't make it. And because of that, he then created like a fleet of over 2,000 ships. And they sailed back to the Americas, and they stayed. And then you can see pieces of their features in Mesopotamian artwork because they were there. That's insanely liberating for someone who grew up in a public school system that truly talked about Black history as one day Africa was there, and then they became enslaved, and then they fought for their rights. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. So it was amazing to learn that, no, there's a rich history behind all of that, before all of that, reasons for it. And it was deeply satisfying to get to read stories and learn about people who look like me that I can really kind of relate to. And the way these professors explain things, it feels like you're just listening to a story instead of, at this date and this time, this happened next. It's like, so of course he was upset, because if you guys remember back in 200 years ago, they were still upset. It was beautiful. So that was the personal side. And yeah, the wealth of knowledge is just, I love knowledge. I love learning. I love learning new things. So learning everything, it would take me hours to get into the details of everything I've learned from each of my classes. But it's a very rich history. And even the principles of the study are completely different from what I've learned before. The way we observe others, even the ethnography of when we're looking at different cultures and our own, the way it's interpreted is so much different. Bias is natural. It's not something you can ever remove. But in a more Eurocentric scientific field, that is what they try to get everyone to believe. And it's nonsense. You're always going to have a bias because you're from where you're from. You know what you know. But to then, on this side of the study, say that's okay. I interpret, I understand I have biases. So let me see what I see. And what I write and record isn't necessarily what they're doing, but it's how I'm interpreting it. I just think that's so beautiful.
I see your passion for your major.
Yes.
It's contagious. Now I want to study Africana studies.
Do it. I'm like constantly.
What would you tell a young person who is confronted with, you can't do that. You're Black, you're brown, you're Asian, and you're a woman?
I want to say what is the truth about it, but I don't know how effective they'll be at believing it. But now if I hear someone say something like that, tell a person they can't for any reason, just know that they're not even talking about you. That's them. They can't picture it. They can't see it. And you're not responsible for their thoughts. It's okay. They are allowed to think whatever limiting belief they want to think. And you don't have to prove them wrong. And you don't have to prove their ideas wrong. The only thing you need to prove is to yourself who you are and what you want to do And if it's helping others, you're on the right track.
Okay, 10 years from now, what are you doing?
Ooh, 10 years from now, I definitely want to be well practiced in law. If I go the criminal route, I'd like to see what judgeship looks like. Running, that would be interesting. Other law practices, I hope by then, after 10 years, that I am very well versed. I know I won't know everything, but I hope that I carry the confidence in me that I have now with my appeal. I carry it then in 10 years as well. And that I am a strong advocate for whoever needs me, and that I'm utilized and appreciated for my contributions, and for that alone. Don't worry about any of the other things. Those will be there. But what I've done, able to do for you, able to do for others, that's what I see in 10 years. Married to this man. His name is Kenneth, and I'm in love with him.
And he's been supportive, I take it.
He has been my biggest fan, biggest cheerleader, biggest advocate. Oh my gosh. I'm not sure I would even have Con here had it not been for his encouragement. Because I said I wasn't sure if I could go back to school. I don't know. And he went, "What are you talking about? You're one of the smartest people I know." I went, "Me?" Because he's really smart. He's been my best friend since the day we met, and we just laugh so much together. We laugh every day. We're silly. But he is so encouraging and always believing in me, advocating for me. When I told him I got nominated, he goes, "Well, of course you did." Why aren't you more excited? He's like, "I already knew I knew that would happen." And I'm like, "Okay, I want to see me the way you see me." Because the way you see me is pretty cool. So I'd be married to him, hopefully children, living in a nice little house.
I side with your boyfriend. How do you see yourself leaving a mark on your community, on society in your own way?
Oh boy, a mark that feels so.
What do you hope to accomplish besides being a good partner and a good parent?
I hope that my time on this planet helps other people know themselves and like what they know. If I could do anything, it would be for people to feel safe around me, to feel joy around me. And then in their lives, I hope that I can touch people on a more spiritual, healing sort of way where you just feel a bit better. That's what I want to do, truly. That is what I believe my true purpose is. And practicing law just seems like an excellent way to help people feel safe, to help people be okay, and to see that there's advocates out there for you and you're not alone. And I want to do that. Yeah, that's what I'd like to do most, is if people feel like, well, you know what? You can call Shanelle, because she may not be able to give you the answers, but you'll definitely feel a lot better after you talk to her. That's what I'd really love. And for people to really know who they are, because it took me a long time to know who I was. And if you don't know who you are, it's hard and scary in this world because you'll listen to everybody. But once you know yourself, everything else is just an opinion. And it can be accepted or not accepted, but it's okay. That's what I want most.
Do you think your time at CSUN helped you figure out who you are?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but not.
Not defining it, but helping you shape it.
Yes, because I really didn't know I had these strengths. I didn't know I could have the impact that I've, as minor as it, be in the global, spectrum. I've made an impact on folks, and it's been 2 years. I don't think you can think that's something that's a trait of yours unless that happens, unless you just have a huge ego. So yes, CSUN has helped me to develop as the woman I am now, with more knowledge behind me, with more avenues of connectivity and excitement. I mean, I feel like this school kind of nurtures you no matter what part, what age you are in life. They'll help you get to those next goals. Yeah, really.
Shanelle, you were amazing. I mean, just super amazing. It's an honor to meet you. Congratulations on your commencement. And then thank all of you for joining us. Shanelle shared her story.